The 10,053rd meeting of the Security Council is called to order. The provisional agenda for this meeting is the situation in Libya. The agenda is adopted. The Security Council will now begin its consideration of item 2 of the agenda. Members of Council have before them document S 2025/762, the text of the draft resolution submitted by France and Greece. The Council is ready to proceed to the vote on the draft resolution before it. I now give the floor to those members of the Council who wish to make statements before the vote. France.
Merci, Monsieur le Président. Monsieur le Président, ce projet de résolution s'inscrit dans le cadre du soutien du Conseil à la paix et à la stabilité en Libye. Nous le savons, l'embargo sur les armes demeure indispensable pour tenter de prévenir les affrontements sporadiques, notamment en Tripolitaine. Le secrétaire général y insiste dans son rapport sur la résolution 2780 adoptée en mai dernier. L'embargo se justifie plus encore dans le contexte de la feuille de route pour la relance du processus politique présentée par la représentante spéciale. La réunification de toutes les institutions suppose en effet que les forces en présence renoncent à la tentation de l'escalade armée. Le texte proposé à notre examen contribue au respect de cet embargo sur les armes. En effet, les autorisations mises en place par ce Conseil depuis 2016 permettent à des États membres et des organisations régionales d'inspecter en haute mer au large des côtes de la Libye des navires suspectés de le violer. Seule opération mandatée à cet effet, l'opération IRINI de l'Union européenne, agit de manière professionnelle, impartiale et efficace, en coopérant avec la Libye et les pays voisins et aux côtés de tous les États membres. D'autres États peuvent d'ailleurs compléter son action en menant des inspections, comme l'y encourage le secrétaire général. La France et la Grèce, auteurs de ce projet de résolution, ainsi que l'Union européenne, ont été à l'écoute des vues des autorités libyennes. Nous appelons d'ailleurs à ce que le groupe de travail UE-Libye, mis en place dans ce contexte, rende ce partenariat plus efficace et plus opérationnel encore, et nous travaillerons avec tous nos partenaires en ce sens. Monsieur le Président, notre objectif commun est la pleine restauration de la souveraineté, de l'unité et de la stabilité de la Libye. Convaincu qu'il y contribuera, et forte de l'accord des autorités libyennes, la France et la Grèce proposent de reconduire pour 6 mois le dispositif mis en place par la résolution 2292 et renouvelé par la dernière résolution 2780. Nous remercions tous les membres de ce Conseil pour leur engagement constructif dans les consultations. Je vous remercie.
I thank the representative of France for the statement. I shall put the draft resolution to the vote now. Will those in favor of the draft resolution contained in document S 2025/762 please raise their hand? Those against? No abstentions? Abstentions? The result of the voting is as follows. 13 votes in favor, 0 votes against, 2 abstentions. The draft resolution has been adopted as Resolution 2804 of 2025. I now give the floor to those members of the Council who wish to make statements after the vote. I give the floor to Grace.
Thank you, Mr. President. As co-pen holders of this resolution, we would like to thank all Council members for their engagement and their support for extending the authorization of United Nations Security Council Resolution 2780. A 6-month renewal of Resolution 2733 this past May gave us indeed the opportunity to engage with Council members as well as with all relevant parties and stakeholders, in particular the Libyan authorities, on how the arms embargo can be efficiently implemented. Today's renewal helps further these efforts by providing additional time and space to hold meaningful discussions on the issue. Availing ourselves of today's adoption, we would like to stress again the importance of renewal of Resolution 2292 as amended by Resolution 2733. It provides for the legal framework for the authorization of inspections of vessels carried out under certain conditions on the high seas by member states acting nationally or through regional organizations. Maintaining this legal framework is essential to ensure continuity and effectiveness of monitoring and enforcement of the UN arms embargo. As stated in the Secretary General's report, in the context of the overall political and security volatility in Libya, compliance with the arms embargo is critical to preventing any further escalation of internal armed conflict, improving prospects for the withdrawal of foreign forces, foreign fighters, and mercenaries, and creating conditions for long-term stability. We therefore support all actions that contribute to strengthening the effectiveness of the UN arms embargo on Libya. Operation IRINI, as an impartial and unique instrument, provides a deterrent against arms smuggling. It serves as the primary tool for maritime enforcement of the UN arms embargo in the entire region, thus concretely and effectively contributing to the implementation of the UN arms embargo and to international efforts for peace and stability in Libya. We encourage continued cooperation between Operation IRINI and all relevant partners and stakeholders, in particular the Libyan authorities, and we underline the need for full, unhindered implementation of its mandate in line with the relevant resolutions. I thank you.
I thank the representative of Greece for the statement. I now give the floor to the representative of China.
主席，中方对刚才付诸表决的决议草案投了弃权票。我愿作出如下说明：安理会对利比亚制裁措施有助于遏制武器非法流入，防范暴力升级。中方呼吁各方切实落实安理会决议，共同维护利比亚以及地区安全稳定。近年来，欧盟在利比亚沿岸公海持续开展伊瑞尼行动，监督武器禁运执行情况。同时，有关行动也暴露出透明度和有效性不足，扣押物品处置方式不当，同当事国协调配合不够等问题。安理会应充分听取利比亚等相关方意见，对伊瑞尼行动授权进行动态评估，及时予以调整或完善。主席，当前利比亚政治安全局势仍然面临严峻挑战，国际社会应在尊重利比亚主权、独立和领土完整的基础上，帮助利比亚推进政治进程和维护国家稳定。中方呼吁欧盟等各方在落实武器禁运的同时，更多帮助利比亚提高自身安全能力建设，推进国家发展重建。中方愿同国际社会一道， 继续为利比亚早日实现和平稳定与长治久安做出贡献。谢谢主席。
I thank the representative of China for the statement, and I'll give the floor to the representative of the Russian Federation.
Господин председатель, Российская Федерация воздержалась при голосовании по подготовленному Францией и Грецией проекту резолюции Совета Безопасности о продлении особого инспекционного режима в открытом море у берегов Ливии. Изначально при учреждении этого механизма резолюции СБ 2292 предполагалось, что он станет действенным инструментом в борьбе с незаконными поставками вооружений в Ливию и в конечном счете окажет поддержку процессу политурегулирования в этой стране. Однако спустя годы после запуска режима всем очевидно, что заявленные цели так и остались невыполненными. Территория Ливии по-прежнему наводнена всеми видами вооружений, которые активно применяются господствующими на земле многочисленными вооруженными группировками. Господин председатель, в значительной степени это связано с тем, что практическая реализация положений особого инспекционного режима де-факто оказалась в единоличном ведении Европейского Союза и его военно-морской операции «Ирини». При этом, несмотря на активно тиражируемый Брюсселем тезис о ее успешности, сколь-либо значимого снижения объемов незаконных поставок вооружений в Ливию не наблюдалось. Вопросы вызывают весьма спорные методы работы «Ирини», географический охват ее патрулей, избирательность при проведении досмотров судов на море, произвольное определение военного характера грузов, а также попытки распорядиться изъятым имуществом вне установленных СБ правовых рамок, включая его передачу третьим государствам или коммерческую продажу. Нельзя не отметить и недостаточную прозрачность взаимодействия руководства операции со вспомогательными органами СБ, включая группу экспертов санкционного комитета СБ 1970. Все это не только подрывает доверие международного сообщества к Евросоюзу, но и бросает тень на авторитет Совета и создаваемые под его эгидой механизмы поддержания мира и стабильности. Односторонние подходы, идущие вразрез с коллективными договоренностями, не могут служить основой устойчивых решений по стабилизации обстановки ни в Ливии, ни где-либо еще. Господин председатель, соблюдение санкционного режима СБ в отношении Ливии должно быть подлинно коллективным, транспарентным и подотчетным. В этой связи считаем востребованным продолжение дискуссии о возможных путях подлинного повышения действенности ливийского санкционного инструментария. До тех же пор мы продолжим внимательно отслеживать деятельность операции «Ирини» на предмет соответствия предпринимаемых в ее рамках действий положениям резолюции Совета Безопасности 2292 и его последующих решений, а также нормам международного права, включая положение Конвенции ООН по морскому праву 1982 года. Я благодарю за внимание.
I thank the representative of the Russian Federation for the statement, and I'll give the floor to the representative of Algeria.
Thank you, Mr. President. I have the honor to deliver this explanation of vote on behalf of the A3+, namely Guyana, Sierra Leone, Somalia, and my own country, Algeria. The A3+ voted in favor of this resolution, just adopted, through which the Council authorizes a 6-month technical rollover of the provisions set out in the Resolution 2780 as demonstration of our commitment to the strict implementation of the arms embargo in Libya. In this context, we would like to make 4 points. First, we take note of the recent report of the Secretary General on the activities of Operation IRINI, which included more than 2,000 boardings and inspections. However, we regret that despite the high number of reported interceptions, the operation has not yielded the desired results. To implement the arms embargo, which remains largely ineffective in the face of the growing flow of weapons, especially by air and sea. The persistent challenge underscores the need for a comprehensive review of the modus operandi of the mission and the enhancement of its technical capabilities to prevent illicit arms transfers. Second, we continue to advocate for greater transparency and accountability in implementing this mandate, including through stronger oversight role of the Sanctions Committee, particularly with respect to the disposal, destruction, and transfer of the seized items. Third, the A3 Plus urges the European Union to strengthen, through the IRINI Command, its cooperation with the Libyan government, particularly in the areas of intelligence sharing, capacity building, and coordination of the most effective means to enforce the embargo. Such collaboration will enable the Libyan authorities to assume full ownership of their sovereign security responsibilities. Fourth, the issue of fuel smuggling in Libya has reached an alarming magnitude. Recent reports indicated that between 2022 and 2024, this illicit activity deprived the Libyan state of an estimated $20 billion in revenue. This vital national resource has been systematically exploited with profound repercussions. The Libyan people are denied essential funds needed for social welfare and economic development, while the proceeds of these criminal activities further bolstered armed groups seeking to undermine state authority in Libya. This smuggled fuel is also used to sustain the machinery of war in Sudan and the Sahel, often with active support of external actors. In this regard, we trust that the government of Libya and the European Union will continue their discussions and explore the best avenues for cooperation to address this urgent issue. Mr. President, accountability remains the silent note in this unresolved symphony. Operation IRINI intercepts vessels, traces the origins of weapons, and identifies their suppliers, yet no meaningful action follows. This persistent inaction not only emboldens those who violate the embargo, but also undermines the authority and moral standing of this very Council. We therefore urge this Council to shoulder its historic responsibility and ensure that those who violate the arms embargo and foment instability in Libya are finally held to account. In conclusion, the A3 Plus reaffirms its unwavering commitment to Libya's sovereignty, territorial integrity, and national unity. We reiterate our call for the full and unconditional withdrawal of all foreign forces, foreign fighters, and mercenaries. We also renew our support for Libyan-led and Libyan-owned political process facilitated by the United Nations, which paves the way for a sustainable solution and restores hope to millions of Libyans. I thank you.
I thank the representative of Algeria for the statement. I now give the floor to the representative of the United Kingdom.
Thank you, President. The United Kingdom would like to thank the pen holders, France and Greece, for their efforts to secure broad support for this resolution, renewing the authorization for Operation IRINI. We were pleased to vote in favour of this resolution. The UN arms embargo, which Operation IRINI helps enforce, plays a critical role in supporting security and stability in Libya and creating the conditions for progress in the political process. Operation IRINI, alongside member states, helps to ensure robust implementation of the arms embargo and is deepening its strategic partnership with the Libyan authorities in support of Libya's sovereignty and security. The adoption of this resolution sends a clear message. The international community remains committed to limiting the flow of weapons that fuel conflict and instability in Libya. President, the United Kingdom remains committed to supporting an inclusive, Libyan-led and Libyan-owned political process facilitated by the United Nations. I thank you.
I thank the representative of the United Kingdom for the statement, and I'll give the floor to the representative of Pakistan.
Thank you, Mr. President. Pakistan has voted in favor of the resolution, which provides for a technical rollover of the provisions set out in Resolution 2780 for 6 months. We acknowledge the work of the European Union Naval Force Mediterranean Operation IRINI. My delegation believes that the extension of the time period will provide an opportunity for the relevant parties to critically assess the continued practical effectiveness of the measures contained in the resolution. We say this because data from the last 2 reports of the Secretary General indicate no substantial results with respect to the seizure of prohibited items. Mr. President, looking ahead, Pakistan reiterates the importance of robust and sustained coordination with the Libyan authorities and institutions in the implementation of the authorizations related to vessel inspections. This point has also been reflected in the latest report of the Secretary General. We are convinced that enhancing the capacity building and training of the relevant Libyan departments will contribute to more effective implementation of the arms embargo, while simultaneously preparing them to progressively assume full responsibility for conducting such operations independently in the future. In conclusion, Pakistan reaffirms its steadfast commitment to Libya's sovereignty, independence, territorial integrity, and national unity. I thank you, Mr. President.
I thank the representative of Pakistan for the statement, and I'll give the floor to the representative of Denmark.
Thank you, Mr. President. Denmark welcomes the adoption of today's resolution, extending the authorizations to inspect vessels on the high seas off the coast of Libya. We express our sincere appreciation to the penholders, France and Greece, for their efforts in this regard. President, as we witnessed earlier this year, when clashes between heavily armed groups erupted in Tripoli, the proliferation of arms continues to fuel instability in Libya. It is this Council's collective responsibility to ensure robust enforcement of the arms embargo. As the only operational regional mechanism implementing Resolution 2780, EU Operation IRINI remains a key pillar in these efforts. While actively disrupting illicit arms flows, it also collects valuable information, which is shared with the Libya panel of experts. This information sharing mechanism is vital, as it promotes accountability for violations while deterring future violations, and further serves to inform the work of the Council. Mr. President, strict enforcement of the arms embargo remains essential to reducing violence against civilians, preventing further military buildup, and limiting the influence of foreign fighters in Libya. In the absence of other enforcement and compliance mechanisms, Operation IRINI must be able to continue its essential work. We call on all states to cooperate fully with IRINI and to fulfill the obligations under the arms embargo, to ensure that the arms embargo is not just a legal instrument, but an effective tool for peace and stability across the region. I thank you.
I thank the representative of Denmark for the statement, and I'll give the floor to the representative of the United States.
The United States continues to support effective implementation of the UN Libya arms embargo as we work to enable Libya to take responsibility for its own security. This authority is an important mechanism to allow member states to enforce the arms embargo and prevent widespread weapons trafficking, a key priority articulated by this Council. We welcome further consultations with the Libyans about arrangements going forward. We thank the EU Naval Operation Force IRINI for its dedication of resources to monitor and disrupt illicit activities off the coast of Libya. Operation IRINI serves a critical information sharing function, especially with the Libya panel of experts. Thank you.
I thank the representative of the United States for the statement. There are no more names inscribed on the list of speakers. The meeting is adjourned.